Back in the year 2000, some 25 years ago, a powerful combination of two generations of incredible musicians came together, Jimmy Page and the Black Crowes. They unleashed a live tour featuring some of their most popular tunes and some of their underappreciated songs as well. Here's Jimmy, Chris, and Rich Robinson to tell you how this amazing combination came together.
Well, a series of connections, really, and serious mutual respect has to be put into it as well, because I'd really enjoyed the Black Crowes' music, and I saw them in London at the Royal Albert Hall. I went from there, within a day or two, I was jamming with them in Paris, in a place called the Zenith. Then we were rubbing shoulders on festivals, and I think you supported us on some gigs too, didn't you? Yeah, Page and Plant.
Yeah.
We did as much hanging out as time would allow, but we were definitely hanging out a bit, which was nice, especially as to what was to come later, which there was this charity event that was proposed to me for street children in Brazil. And as my partner is involved in the charity, you can imagine who was the first person who was going to be the flag bearer, for the standard bearer for this whole project. It was me, but I'd actually played at the venue. It was a Café de Paris in London, and I played the year before for a charity called War Child, and that had been with Robert, Michael and Charlie, so quite clearly we couldn't do that again. And I thought it would be really great to do it with the Crowes if they would like to do it. Well, there was like this message went across, and they said, yeah, we'd love to do it with you. Well, the thing was, because they actually came on board, and it was, you could actually say, well, the Black Crowes and Jimmy are going to be doing this, and other people came, and it was because of them that, to be honest with you, that the event was really came together. It was a fantastic evening.
Yeah, it was
brilliant, and a great time was had by all. And after that, the Crowes manager called me up and said, listen, I've got a proposition for you. I'm holding a couple of venues, and that was at the time the Roseland and the Greek. Would you like to carry on where you left off? And we'd do a couple of gigs just for the hell of it. I said, you bet your life on it. And that's how it went.
And once the jar was open, there was no putting the lid back on. Over the next hour, we'll celebrate the 25th anniversary release of the audio document of that tour, now out. It's a 36-song set featuring 16 previously unreleased tracks, including a never-before-issued soundcheck jam. Due to the restrictions from their record label at the time, no songs from the Black Crowes catalog were included on that original 2000 release, but they've been restored to their proper place on this expanded collection. Hi, I'm Karen D'Alessandro, welcoming you to the making of Jimmy Page and the Black Crowes, live at the Greek, all access.
You've been coolin', baby, I'm not foolin'. I'm not sadin', back to schoolin'. So right down outside, honey, you need it. Gonna give you my love, gonna give you my love. Whoa, want a whole lot of love, want a whole lot of love, want a whole lot of love. woman, you need it.
Catching the fire that happened on stage throughout their tour in 2000. Jimmy Page and the Black Crowes' Whole Lot of Love from the newly dropped and remixed Jimmy Page and the Black Crowes live at the Greek.
Bringing my own character to Led Zeppelin, and I'm very funny about singing. I never really think about it. I don't want to think about it. I just want to do it, and I want it to come out the way it comes out. Robert, of course, is an iconic vocalist. He's selling these songs, and his vocal style is so unique, and everyone knows Robert Plant the second he opens his mouth. I could never do that, you know what I mean? I wouldn't even attempt to try to sing like Robert. So for me, all I knew is I knew there's things I have to do to make the song good, or
to honor the song.
Represent the song in a respectful way, and a way again. So as the lead vocalist and the person up there, and as someone who loves music, I'm in the crowd as well. So truly, I just wanted to do my best, and I wanted to honor the song, but I knew I had to insert the way, we're both bluesy singers. We're both into R&B and soul music, and have all, Robert and I just do it a little differently, you know what I mean? I'm like, my rhythmic thing is different than Robert's the way he rhythmically sings. But I didn't even want to think about it, because the other part is then maybe I would have been in like a head trip about it, and I had enough head trips going on, and I didn't want to deal with that, So I just truly threw myself into it.
Yeah, but when we played at the Café de Paris, and I was listening to Chris as he was singing, and I'd go, crikey. And he was doing his improvisational passages, which is totally natural to him. Because I remember coming up to you afterwards and well, that was really great, that improvisation and those licks you were throwing into it. But that's it, that's what he is. That's what he can do, and he's exceptional. Okay, so Robert sang the things originally, but let's see what he would do on Remedy.
Today the baby like a juicy steel. Kill that bird on a windowsill. I knew the reason that he broke his back. Damn, I did I see your baby laugh about that. I wanna bring it home like a dream. Where won't you let me pull it to you wanna be? I wanna touch you down deep inside.
Page adding a dash of nitro to the Black Crowes' Remedy off of Live at the Greek. That is one of the new songs included on the 25th anniversary release. Yes, Jimmy?
Can I jump in on this? Because initially when we had our set together, which now you know what it was, then I think there was a bit of a problem as a re-record for your stuff, is that right?
Yeah,
that's what I was led to believe. So therefore it became very weighted with like the Led Zeppelin and the blues stuff, which I thought that was a bit of a shame at the time, because I knew that we'd done a really good job with their stuff and they were really flying with it all, you know. So it's wonderful now to be able to see what it was that we did in the first place and hear it.
And it's good because people were like, you know, we did Crow songs too. They were like, are you telling the truth? I'm like, yes. Now everyone can sing.
Her face is cut from smiling, all the feels that she's been hiding, and it seems that pretty soon everybody's gonna know.
Song Led Zeppelin never performed live. Jimmy Page and the Black Crowes doing it proud on the newly issued 25th anniversary of Jimmy Page and the Black Crowes Live at the Greek. Here's Rich Robinson and Jimmy Page and how they chose which Led Zeppelin songs to perform.
I remember Jimmy saying, like, what do you guys want to do? And we're like, we wanted to do Celebration Day, like 10 years gone, but, you know, these are the ones we like, but whatever, you know, how do you feel about this? And Jimmy's like, oh, yeah, that would be great. And there's certain songs that you guys didn't play a lot.
That's right.
That we were, that we wanted to do. It was just fun. And then I remember Jimmy saying, I want to play Horsehead, you know, one of our songs. And I was like, all right. It was great, you know, it was just trading like ideas. back and forth like that, and then we just kind of agreed. But it was like everything. It was so natural. It was easy. There was nothing. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, how about In the Light? Remember we did In the Light a couple of times.
Sure. But what it comes down to is the Zeppelin music is really good to play for all manner of different people, bands and things. It's really good to play. But their music's really good to play as well. If you put these two things together, then you're really cooking.
Wanna tell you about the girl I love, and now she looks so fine. She's the only one that I've been dreaming of. Maybe someday she'll be all mine. Wanna tell her that I love her so, I threw it every time. Need to tell her she's the only one I really love. Say I got a woman all day. Say I got a woman, she won't be true, no. Say I got a woman, stay drunk all the time. Said I got a little woman and she won't be true. Sunday morning when we go down to church, I see the men folks standing in line. Said they come praise the Lord up above with my little girl looks so fine. In the evening when the sun is sinking low and everybody's with the one they love, I walk the town, keep on searching all around, looking for the street corner girl. I got a woman on the ball all day. Said I got a woman, she won't be true, no. Said I got a woman, stay drunk all the time. Got a little woman that she won't be true. In the bars with the men who play guitar, singing, drinking, and remembering the time. Little lover does a midnight shift, she's just a following around all the time. I guess there's just one thing left for me to do. Gonna pack my bags and move all away. Gotta work on the sheriff of his eye. Gonna leave her where the guitars play. I got a woman, she won't be true, no. I got a woman all day. Said I got a woman, stay drunk all the time. Got a little woman that she won't be true. Hey, hey, what can I do? I got a woman, she won't be true. Hey, hey, what can I say? I got a woman, wanna go all the time. Hey, hey, what can I do? I got a woman, wanna go all day. Hey, hey, what can I say? I wanna go all day. Hey, hey, what can I say? Hey, hey, what can I say?
Jimmy Page, the Black Crowes, off the newly remixed and expanded 25th anniversary of their Live at the Greek collection, Celebration Day.
So the thing is, there was an anticipation, obvious anticipation, because everyone knew how good this band is, and they've known what I've done in the past, and what are they going to do? What numbers? And all of a sudden, they couldn't believe how good it was.
That's next, when the making of Jimmy Page and the Black Crowes Live at the Greek All Access is back.